Hi, I'm Yulia from Crafty Wolf by Yulia, and today I'm gonna share with you the story of a small business on Etsy and how I made £18,000 on my first year on Etsy. I would like to start by introducing myself. Who am I, what I'm doing, why I'm doing what I'm doing, just so you can get an idea of the background story. Who am I? I'm a designer. I'm an architectural assistant. That's my day job. And on the side, I have this small business, small art print shop on Etsy and Shopify. Now I have my own website as well, where I sell minimalistic line art. Everything is eco-friendly and sustainable and absolutely beautiful. Why I opened this Etsy shop, you might be wondering. So first of all, I started this store for myself. When I started this store 3 years ago, I wasn't in a very good place mentally, so I started to do yoga every single day, and it inspired me to create. I had to put my energy into something, and then one day I was sitting down just like I'm doing now, a lotus pose, breathing, and this was the only thing that was bringing me peace and calm, and this is how I created the Breathe art print, the most popular art print in my store. Back then I already had an Etsy store where I was selling all sorts of art. It was a mix match, to be honest. It was all sorts of styles and everything that I could see on Pinterest. It wasn't too good, because this is a good tip, if you want a good store, art store, it needs to be cohesive. You need to go for a certain style and mood, and I wasn't doing that at first. I was trying though to sell my art for free or for as little as I could on Etsy, for like 0 point something. Basically, I was giving my art for free. I was actually trying to give my art for free on Instagram as well. I was posting and I was like, if you're interested in my art, let me know and I can send you a link where you can download it. It didn't work. No one was interested. But then when I created this Breathe art print, my boyfriend came with a brilliant idea to post it on my Etsy store, even though it was totally different. It was so simple, so minimalistic compared to the previous ones that I've posted, which were full of color, and they were not too good, to be honest. They weren't. So he came with a brilliant idea to post this one and to actually charge for it for the first time, to charge for it $4.99. And I was like, yeah, let's do it, see what happens. And imagine what, someone actually bought my Breathe art print, and I was the happiest person in the world. I was so happy, so proud of myself. I was already considering myself a business owner. This is how my first sale came, and I was so happy. On weeks to come, I continued to do my yoga, and I was inspired to create even more poses like the one that I already did. I already had like a portfolio of them. Maybe I had around 20 art prints. I was already selling some of them, not a lot. Not imagine that I made a lot of sales, but at the minute I made around £100, I decided that I need to create a physical product. I was so afraid, so scared to take this next step, but it was worth it. I had a plan. I was like, okay, now I'm going to create a physical product. I can charge more, I can grow my business, and yeah, this is brilliant. So I decided to invest in my first box of A3 paper, and to find this paper, it was an entire process. I had to order so many paper samples because I couldn't find anything to be made from recycled materials and to be eco-friendly. It was a task, but eventually I found one that was amazing. It was made from coffee cups, it had a nice thickness and texture, and it was working perfectly with my art. And yeah, I was at uni back then. I was in my last year doing my master's, and I didn't have a printer. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to the university and print my art there. It was a plan. On a Saturday morning, I went to the university. It was all empty. I was so stressed because I had to use these professional printers. I had to take all the paper out from them and put my paper, the one made from coffee cups. I was always looking behind me to see if someone is gonna tell me something, to be like, what are you doing, girl? What are you doing with the printers? But I was lucky enough, no one was there. This is how I started to print for the first time, my art prints. And this is the first time when I actually saw my art in a physical format. It was amazing. It was a dream come true. Even now, I remember putting them on a desk in front of me, taking them from the printer to the desk. It was my art on paper. It was something physical, something that I could touch. And they were so beautiful. Like, even now I get emotional thinking about it. It was so nice. And then I remember packaging everything so carefully because I didn't want to bend them. Imagine, after I had to cut by hand every single paper because I didn't have enough money to buy paper in all the sizes that I needed for my store, so I had to cut them by hand to A4 and A5 sizes. So I packed them carefully, walked all the way home, and I was thinking about the next steps. I remember getting home and I put all my art around me and I was so proud. It was such a good moment. It was all my feelings on paper. It was absolutely beautiful, and I remember taking a picture of them, posting on Instagram, and I was like, in a couple of days I will have my first physical products in my store. And I didn't have a huge following, not even now. I don't have a huge following. I think back then I had 100 people following me, but they were nice people, and everyone, like, I got so many good reactions from them, and it encouraged me to do it and create all the pictures for my Etsy store. I worked so much on titles, descriptions, tags, everything. I wanted everything to be perfect. I wanted everything to feel like a Scandinavian store with an organic vibe, natural vibe to it. And a week later or so, I think I had all my art posted, and then crickets. Nothing happened. No orders, no nothing. Imagine, after all that excitement, all those feelings, I wasn't disappointed because I wasn't doing this for the money. I wasn't considering this a business. I was just doing this for my mental health, really. But still, I was kind of expecting to make a sale. So yeah, back then I didn't know that for Etsy to actually take into account your art, your products, will take a couple of days, weeks. But yeah, one day after all this wait, my first sale came, and even now I remember jumping up and down in my living room. I was extremely happy and proud. It was such a big moment for me. It was absolutely amazing. And yeah, this is how I made my first sale, my first physical art print sale. It was a huge milestone for me. And yeah, and then you know what happened? I think you do. And then after that, the pandemic hit and everyone got stuck inside. It was a tough time for so many people. You know, I created this art for myself. I created this art using round shapes so it calms me down. It was something relaxing for me, something relaxing to look at. And now so many people found this calm and peace into my art, and so many people started to buy it and send to other family members and friends because everyone was stuck at home. And it was a huge success. It was a huge success for me. I made almost 1,000 sales in my first year, and I cannot be more happy and grateful for every single one. So yeah, this is the story of my store. This is the story of Crafty Wolf by Julia. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you're also an Etsy seller and if you're just starting out, please let me know your story in the comments down below. In the next video, I'm gonna share with you how I made 18,000 pounds on my first year on Etsy. How I made this organically without paying for ads or influencers or Instagram or whatever. I didn't have a following, I don't have a following now, but I'm gonna share with you my secrets and how I did everything. I just thought it's important to share my story a little bit so you get to know the background of it before I'm gonna dive into the more technical bits. Yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to my channel so you won't miss the next one and see how you can make yourself 18,000 pounds on your first year on Etsy. Yeah, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.